Hi, I'm Seb, and I want to talk about why I absolutely fucking hate Beyblade X. At least the anime. I haven't really read the manga, and I actually like the actual products. I just want to talk about the fact that I feel like the anime fell absolutely flat when it came to like Beyblade. So first of all, things that they did, I was about to go into a round of things they did right, but to be honest, the only thing they really did right is the characters, because the character development is kind of cool and the character stories are kind of cool. It's above. I'd say it's above being bad and being mediocre, but that's like the only redeeming quality I have about it. So, the actual story of season one is, I find it boring, and what's worse is the battles. I'll get into them in a minute. But before all of that, just want to say, it's annoying that, at least for Australia, you start, you have you have like the first half of season one put on Netflix. So like, oh yeah, I'll go watch that, and then it ends randomly, and you think, oh yeah, and like season one is left on cliffhanger because they're about to get new Beyblades, and they're about to enter a new tournament. So you're like, oh, this is the end of season one. Nope, they just had like half the season missing, and then the other half you had to wait grudgingly, for YouTube videos to release of the episodes. And what's worse than that is the fact that you have to be you in America to actually watch them. Like, I only realized this because I was using a VPN, and I found the videos, and I found one video of it, and I realized that these episodes will only come out for me in Australia when I have a VPN on. So that's kind of racism if you think about it. Anyways, let's talk about the story for a second. It starts off simple. You have, Robin Kazami, or Bird, as pretty sure his name is Bird in the manga. Anyways, he has Scythe Incendio. Well, not, he doesn't. Well, he has another Beyblade, but gets destroyed, boo-hoo, and he's incredibly weak at the beginning. Alright, most characters start off weak in the beginning, and other characters that aren't weak, at least for Beyblade Burst, they're showing their plays pretty soon. But, anyways, he cannot catch a single dub. Like, at all. There's this really point. There's this point I hate in the end, but I'll get to that when I get to the end. He meets. I forgot his name, but he meets. The world's like number one player who's in like the best team. Pendragon, and it's like, oh, cool. And the kid's under a sick identity known as Beyblade X. Why is everything named X nowadays? It's not a cool thing. I want to see a platform called Z. I want to see. I guess they did have a Blade Z. Anyways, so he finds another character who gives him Scythe Incendio, which in itself has a bad written history. And anyways, so they challenge that later. That becomes they challenge her in a battle where it's a 2v1 where they take turns beating her. Of course, Robin gets no points and loses, so it's up to this kid Beyblade X with his sword Dran, or Dran sword in the manga, and absolutely dogs the shit out of her, and then she joins them. So now they're an actual team who works at a sushi place with the joke of having terrible sushi. Not a bad joke. All of that stuff is good. And they had all their budget on one singular lady. If you know, you know. If you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. They had all their budget on her. I swear to God. Not complaining. Anyways, so basically, sorry, there's a fire alarm because stuff. Ignore that. Anyways, so okay, hold on. I'll come back to you when it stops. Anyways, all the budget was spent on that one character. I'm not complaining, but anyways, so they work at that. They're a team called I forgot what they were called. Honest to God, it was something spirit, something like that. Anyways, so then, right, they're battling other people. They're battling Team Zuganic with their animal themed bays. Isn't a bad idea. The Bladers themselves are cool. They're alright characters. Like the only thing they got right was the characters. So, they battle other teams, right? There's more development on that, and then yeah. So then the part where Netflix decided, hey, fuck you, and we're only releasing half of the series of season one. At the end, they have a cliffhanger where, of course, they're invited to this tourney thing where they'll be split up, and and it'll be this voting thing to get them up on the X Tower, which, by the way, the X Tower is a tower that's in the shape of an X, where, the thing is that you go up levels, you progressively go up, and the more you go up, the more, you're ranked as a player, and, yeah, it's kind of stupid, because when you get to the end of one, you just, go back to the bottom and then go up the other. It's 100 floors. Is it like in a total with the two towers as a combined total of 200 floors, or is it 50 floors each tower that intersects? What? Anyways, enough about the Twin Towers 2.0. So the actual, yeah, they get split up. They get new bays. Buster Dran, forgot his name, Hammer Incendio, Wand Wizard, which is the sub's name. Anyways, so, yeah, I forgot to mention Arrow Wizard. I don't have that on me, but Arrow Wizard kind of sucks in real life, because I beat my friend, beat the friend, 0 to 50 when he got it, so fuck him. Anyways, yeah, yeah. What am I saying again? Fuck. Yeah, so they're in a tournament, right? And they split up, they get points, there's this, basically kinda, yeah, it's all cool. There's this popular unicorn-like girl who me and my friend keep on calling lesbian, because I swear to God, she's kind of lesbian, not gonna lie. And, yeah, they get a bunch of votes, they're the winners, and then, after that, there's this whole thing where, they have to verse, because there's two different votings, by the way, team vote and individual vote, where the winners for the team vote have to fight the top three places in the individual votes. And, they do that, they fight against, I forgot their names, but they're kind of unimportant. They got the Gym Bro, who uses a T-Rex-like Beyblade that bounces around with an uneven tip, which is a cool idea. And they actually have a lot of realism in that. Of course, that's the only time realism is good in this sense. Where, he's basically just a complete wildcard, where he can be, absolute pros at, top of the game, but can lose to literal children, and, he battles them, it's this thing, and, the last Blader is, one of the best. She's, fucking, I don't know, 80, she's the grandma of the Zuganic leader, who's, yeah, not really that much important, and, yeah, so they do that. Of course, I'm pretty sure, the main character's team wins. I can't remember, though. And, yeah, that's almost it. They have some other stuff. No, they actually do have this whole other arc where there's this new Blader, I can't make this up with you, there's this new Blader Y that was in the cliffhanger for, the half the series that was released by Netflix, where, they hinted at with a singular frame. And spoiler alert, the main team, the top team, right, because like Blader X kind of left that team, their leader basically is like, oh man, I really miss Blader X. Better become an obsessed weirdo, and dons the mask and basically tries to copy everything about Blader X, like down to the battle and down to the moves he uses in the battles. So then another Blader shows up called Blader Z, which uses his new Bay, because, I should also probably mention that in the first half of the series, they also get new Bays. You know, they get, Chain Incendio, they get, Dagger Dran, and they get... Oh wait, no, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, anyways, yeah, so you have Blader X using, his newest Buster Dran. You have Blader Z using also Buster Dran, and then you have Blader Y using Dagger Dran, and also Sword Dran, I think. So, you have that arc, and then it's revealed that, Blader Z all along was the newest member of Pendragon, which is this other kid who uses this obsidian shell, which is a pretty cool Beyblade, I would say. And he has this whole arc of how he, tries to become the best, tried to, become noticed, and when he finally got noticed, it's only because, the Pendragon needed a new guy, and he's like, hey, don this mask, from now on you're Blader Z. It's a pretty cool way of antagonizing this guy. It was actually really nice, like most other things, like most other characters. The character development, the things they do with the characters themselves are cool. And so, then it all, season 1 has this big battle where the main character's team has made it all the way to floor 99 near the top of the X Tower, and then the final battle is at the top. They have a team knockout, and this is so annoying because throughout the entire series, Robin doesn't get a single point. Not just doesn't get a win, that would be in itself annoying, but he doesn't get 1 point. He almost gets it once, but still loses. Doesn't get the point. He never gets a point. Why? Why would anyone create this? They just keep on creating characters who only get a consistent either win or loss. Why? That's stupid. That's not how you really do writing. Because the payoff doesn't really pay off. Because what happens at this final battle when he battles the Blader Z guy? I forgot his name. Surprise, surprise! He gets 1 point and still fucking loses. It's this massive dramatic thing where he finally gets 1 point. It's not a thing to celebrate, and you still fucking lose, and you didn't get a single point. You have been carried by your entire team, and still are technically being carried all the way to the top. You are riding off the back of your teammates. He had this whole episode where he wanted to quit. He should have quit. Honestly, stop being a pussy and actually battle. Be better written. But yeah, the entire, at the ending, of course the Team Pendragon has to win because they can't have the main characters get, top of the X, become the best bladers at the first season because they need to pump out more of the shit, So yeah, also, the Beyblades, they're pretty weird in the release. Because, yeah, the first season, they had the, regular run-of-the-mill, these bays. I don't have any of the next thing, because next are the UK bays. No, UX bays, which are, which were the, Wand Wizard, Buster Dran, and Hammer Incendio. Those are technically different bays, not even in a different series, by the way. And then, after that, so, yeah, and then, this new season 2 has, since it's an anime, the Japanese bays have already come out, and for the next thing, heard they're pretty bad, and they're, 3-piece things for the layers, these bays themselves are 3-piece, which I'll get into that, actually. The mechanisms make them burst. I won't say that it's, inherently bad. I just say that I think it's more annoying for people like me who want to figure out how it works, because, the burst does make sense. you have a little hole with a shape, you have a driver with that same shape and a spring, and then you have this to, like hold the spring down. So when this slides into this, you turn it and it's locked in. When you turn it the other way, it bursts, and that's how the burst gimmick works. Because when the Beyblades hit, the thing turns, and then when it turns, it bursts, and all three pieces come flying out, which have varying degree of bursting. These are really inconsistent because you can't just burst it with your hand. It takes a lot of force to burst it, so you're probably never gonna gonna have to battle a lot of them to get them burst, or just don't have like a million like attack and balance types because they all have better springs. That was kind of my fault. Anyways, so yeah, and one other thing I want to say is they don't have a consistent villain. Like, because most of the series, the one half that I got to see in Australia before I'd seen the second half through VPN is, that there was a villain. He was kind of a villain. He basically wanted to, change the Beyblade meta, which isn't inherently bad, but the anime kind of framed it in a bad way, because he released a bunch of Beyblades for free, and then, and then everybody was using them because they're just the best. It's just how Beyblade meta kind of works. Like, if you watch, like, a Beyblade Burst tournament, you would see everybody's carrying, like, the same combo because it's just the best combo. Like, he's just doing what the Beyblade meta was, which I guess it wasn't really that fun of a meta. So I guess it was kind of evil, but still, don't really frame someone as evil because they're just, like, doing the meta. It's just like he's actively like trying to make Beyblades faster, like, which is more fun, which is like what this whole thing's about. Like it's about fun. Anyways, so he had that, and then didn't really become a villain afterwards, and then yeah, stuff like that, and it's just annoying because I really want this anime to be good. I just, in my opinion, I don't think it's good. And I don't think that's really a subjective view. I feel like other people don't like it. I feel like most of the majority of people that watch it don't like it. And it could be just so much better if they just stopped, like, demolishing the writing. It's pretty simple. Don't bring matchups and battles that will make Bladers have a consistent streak of either winning or losing, or don't make Bladers who are so weak that they can't keep on losing. Because if you make a character that constantly loses, the payoff isn't going to be right. Because if he keeps on, look at it through this way: you have a Blader that keeps on losing in season 1 and then keeps on winning in season 2. That's not really good writing. You have to have, in my opinion, you would have to have a gradient. You would have to have a Blader who's lost, win, lost, win, lost, win, lost, win, lost, win, 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 win. As a better, other than just a steep kind of graph, you have a slope that actually makes it feel like it's seamless. It makes it feel like this Blader is actually getting stronger as you watch, and you don't notice it until you look back and the anime reminds you that he used to be weak, that you realize he's strong now. But this doesn't have it because it just feels like he's weak consistently, and if he wins suddenly, I'm just gonna think, oh, he got that out of nowhere because he's just a pussy and he's a weakling. And yeah, so I just really hate Beyblade X, and I wish it could be so much cooler. But I guess the redeeming quality is just the characters are kind of well written. There's a lot of character dynamics I didn't even talk about before, like that wizard girl wizard Beyblade girl who's in the main team. One of her, like, she's sisters with another girl in Pendragon and stuff like that. Sorry, I ran out of space. But yeah, anyways, bad anime. Don't like it. It should be better. And if you disagree, we respect you. And if you absolutely hate Beyblades because, I don't know, a character's black in it, then fuck you.